That's right. It's WPGC 95.5. Myself, the Scholar, DJ Academics. So excited about this new feature, Creators of the DMV, because we get to showcase and highlight the people that are most important to the culture that make this whole DMV experience so unique and genuine. And I'm honored to have one of the great artists of the DMV in here with me right now, none other than DeMont PINDER. What's happening, homie?
Yo, what's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I can't complain, man. I'm happy you're here. Happy you made it with all the circumstances going that's led up to today, and we'll get into that in a second. But I mean, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Nah, thank you for having me, bro.
All right, so a lot of people have never heard your voice, heard your story. They just see you out there, see you on these stages doing these live murals. I mean, first of all, I thought you were born and raised in DC, but you kind of moved around a lot. You came to the DC, you still came to the DC young though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was born in Queens. I moved to Maryland when I was 8 or 9. So I went to school from 6th grade to 12. That's my Maryland roots, PG County, and then DC. That's where my biggest art presence is. You know, being the resident artist at Howard Theater and so on, Fox 5. Just different stations. I ain't mean to name drop whatever, but my presence.
Go ahead, name drop.
My presence here is more greater here than anywhere around the world. So for me, it's Maryland, PG County, Queens, and then the district.
All right, so let's describe your art, because you do a lot of murals and portraits, but it's not like a traditional portrait where it's just like an exact lookalike. Where, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks just like the person, but it's kind of like an electrified version where it's it adds energy to it through paint. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I guess I've been doing live performances for about almost 20 years now. So I think when I'm painting, them brush strokes, man, it comes with a lot of experience behind it. So every time I'm stroking the canvas, that's from me traveling to Africa, me traveling to Japan. Me being in the forefront of the Black Lives Movement matter and stuff like that through my art. So it's a lot of pain and happiness in each stroke that I take on the canvas. So it's a lot of emotions on it. So it's no telling how the actual picture will come out. I never know how it's gonna come out. I just know I have good intentions on creating it, and I just let life tell a story through the colors that I pick.
So how long have you been actually painting?
Painting, man. Let's say I've been drawing. My mother said I've been drawing since I was 5. I've been doing art full time about almost 20 years. Painting, I did a little something in high school, but I think I remember right after the Twin Towers dropped, I did my first official painting outside of school. So,
all right, so when was that? What was the painting, and when was it when you was like, all right, I think I'm that dude now?
Not even with painting. It was in 6th grade.
6th grade.
6th grade.
Knew you was that dude.
Spring Hill Lake Elementary, man. In my most humble way, I say I guess I was that dude at that young age. I got to credit my older cousin, Rashawn, for showing me how to do graffiti at a young age. So we used to spend hours on mastering my craft. So I took that and created the front of traffic keepers for my peers, doing their names on their books and stuff. So it went from one person to another. Shout out to my man Six. So he said, yo, I was the man in school with art until Monty, they call him Monty, right? Until Monty came down with his New York markers. You know what I mean? So, my man Six, you know what I mean? But nah, from 6th grade, man, I got it honestly too, through my family is real artistic. My grandmother, my mother, my sister used to draw Mickey Mouse all the time. So, I credit them on helping me shape and mold who I am today as far as an artist.
And I mean, your credentials are crazy. I mean, like you said, I mean, Howard Theater. You also missed out. I mean, you also work for Stars and you do the Power paintings as well. Work with 50. How did that whole link up?
Yeah, that's crazy because I knew 50 for years. We got mutual friends and family, whatever. And I did some stuff on back in the day. Shout out to Broadway. But I physically met 50 in person through my brother Omari Hardwick. So during I think the taping of season 2.
Who plays Ghost for people who don't know his real name?
Ghost. So Ghost took me to the trailer. We presented 50 with a picture that I did.
Do you know who shot Ghost, by the way?
Nah, I don't actually.
All right, cool. But go ahead. Continue.
I guess I got with January 5th as well. I was talking to Omari last night. He was sending, he's sending condolences. And
he wasn't gonna tell you who shot him.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't. But so yeah, he took me there to meet him and everything. We dropped a painting of 50 and his grandmother that I did, and from from that meeting, 50 did a drop for me. He was like, "Yo, shout out to my favorite artist." You know, and did my favorite picture right here. Me and my grandma's beautiful. Amari put a poem on it and everything like that. So that's how I met 50 in person. But throughout the years, I've been doing stuff for Omari and the people that work for Power and Stars and they've been watching. So I had got an email like, "Yo, we need your services, man. You the best person to fit this situation." Shout out to Layla. I'm sorry. She contacted me. She the PR for them, and she pretty much presented the opportunity for me to create 6 commission pieces for them that they use for their press release for this last season.
Wow.
And it was dope. They invited me to Madison Square Garden, so I'm really on the the black
So
carpet.
you was at the big premiere.
Yeah, I was there.
The
man.
big boy
I mean,
premiere.
I actually walked the line right after Miss Tina knows what's her last name now? Her husband.
Matthews.
Is it
No, that's an
nah.
ex-husband. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Tina knows. I don't know.
Yeah, but that, shout out to both of them. They was looking great on the carpet like everybody else. I went right before. That was crazy, man, being on the carpet and looking forward, who in front of you, looking behind you. Amari and his wife came through, dapped him, gave him a hug and everything. He went on, boom, boom. So it was just cool. You know what I mean?
So what's that wow moment that you had? Like, man, I really did that. Like, dang, I ain't realize it. And it ain't hit you till after you did it. That, yeah, I really did
You
do
mean
that.
just in general?
In general.
I ain't gonna lie. I had a few of those, man. Shout out to Miss Aretha Franklin family. I was called upon for that situation. They asked me to come and do a tribute painting for her the day before her funeral at the concert. So I did that right on stage with them at Shane Park, which is now named after her, Miss Aretha Franklin. And then the next day it was on display at her funeral in the opening. So things like that. You think about somebody like that. Who plays a very instrumental part of our upbringing, especially from our culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Queen of Soul. That's somebody that the president, Barack Obama, and First Lady Michelle Obama. That's somebody that they'll bow down to. That's somebody that Beyonce will bow down to. So for me to be
Says a lot.
the person
Says a lot.
that was there to capture that, it's very humbling. I've been in the presence of Mr. BB King, present him with a picture. So it's things like that really just stands with me. Things that we can never get back. Signed portraits by Mr. Dick Gregory. Being cool with Chuck Brown family and kids, man. Somebody that started the whole genre that runs the the DMV. So I mean, we could go on and on, man. But I've really been extremely blessed to build a lot of relationships through my art. Even the unfortunate situations like Blando Castell, who was murdered in front of America, but I could call my Minnesota mom, which is Miss Valerie Castell, right now. She's like, "Hey, son," you know what I mean? So it's things like that. Those are the wild factors for me. You know what I mean?
DeMont Pender, my special guest, creators of the DMV, right here on WPGC 95.5. So what would you tell that 6th grader right now that's trying to have his moment and figure out he's that dude? What would you tell him right now?
He's not gonna know it at that time. He'll know it later on, or her. I would say just keep creating honestly, and it'll catch up to you. You know what I mean? Just keep sharing your gift. The gift will make room for you, and that time and that situation to present itself. You know what I mean? I don't think they should do it to be the man or woman, whatever. But I think if they do it honestly and be dedicated to it, later on they'll find out and look back like that. I really was the man or the woman back then. You know what I mean? And that's with anything. That's any genre you in or any field. I think if you have that same passion for it, the reward will find you.
What are some valleys? What are some valleys that you probably had to go through that you would want them to know and kind of help guide them through those, those cold spells and those down times as an artist?
Some of those valleys that I've been through and still going through, like as of 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago, I would say I always like to share. I got so real quick. So when I go talk to the kids at detention centers or jails or just classrooms, and I'm talking to these young adults or kids or adults, whatever, I like to show the pictures that I have. It'll be a screen with me and Jay-Z on it, me and Lil Wayne, me and Nicki Minaj, me and Nas, me and Puff. Anybody you can name that's been very influential to our culture, man. I pretty much got some dealings with them, so I like to show those pictures to get them excited. So boom, I realized why God allowed me to have all those pictures. It's because those are my weapons. Right? Now I got your attention. So now I got your attention. The room was quiet, and now they want to listen to everything I got to say because I've been some places and I got things to show it. So what I tell them is like, yo, I'm no different from you. I've been through it. I'm still going through certain things too. Like you looking at somebody that's been evicted numerous times. You know what I mean? Fortunately, we had the money to um put ourselves in a hotel and put the stuff in storage. We was never sleeping. Knock on wood, we was never sleeping on the cement outside. But yes, we've been homeless a couple of times, me and my family, and I love it. I love the fact that we went through that struggle because it makes me who I am. It makes me actually appreciate and value life and just appreciate the struggle. Like my mom's, she moved from Queens to Maryland because she wanted to provide a better life for me. Like she didn't want me growing up in certain environments, so she took a pay cut that she never reached when she came down here. So when she left New York, she had a certain pay. When she came down here and retired years later, she never even got back to that same pay just to provide a better life for me. But we had ups and downs. My brother, I had a stepbrother that was in jail for like 20 something years for murder. He passed away a couple of years ago. My father, my biological father, is currently in prison right now. Good dude, just have his ups and downs. So I share a lot of things like that to show people that I'm a real person. We probably got the same experiences, but just keep pushing. You know, um, look up to the higher power, man, and it'll work out.
Yeah, I think that's important to let people know sometimes the story and the backing behind it. Because a lot of times people see the finished product and they see the glitz and the glamour where you are now, but they don't understand the struggles and everything you had to overcome to get where you are today. So I think those are important. And speaking of pictures, you also had a picture that you had sitting up here with you of your brother that recently just passed. That's why in the beginning of the interview I said we was going to get into this part about you just having the strength to just be here today. As I told you when you first walked in, man, I really appreciated having you here today. But I would have completely understood if I ain't gonna be able to do it. Let's reschedule. I would have completely understood it. But I mean, you showed up, still caught the flight, came from Florida to get up here just to do this interview. So we definitely appreciate it, man.
Nah. I definitely appreciate you, man. This platform definitely. I want to use this to shout out to my brother, my big bro, my only biological brother, Tyrone Tony, the biggest heart, man. So I know he looking down, proud of me, I got a picture of him actually touching my bed, and you can see in his eyes that he's looking at his little brother. And this is a couple of days ago. I lost him less than 24 hours ago. So I'm definitely humbled to say his name and people can hear it right now.
Last thing, let the people know how they can get in, how they can reach you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you can reach me if you don't see me in the streets or Howard Theater or somewhere, on stage with Yo-Yo tomorrow. You can catch me on Instagram or anything social media wise. DeMont Pinder, DEMONT PINDER, and that's how you can catch me.
There it is, creators of the DMV. My special guest, DeMont Pinder. It's WPGC 95.5. GC 95.5. GC